Hey Shifter, welcome to the shift. We're going to talk about today about the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus that is happening technically on November 8th, but it's a long game, it's a long process. What it signifies both on a collective level, be it societal and or divine, and what it means for every single one of the signs. Um, I'm just gonna I'm just going to see what comes, and let it be. Thank you for joining me. And if you're new, my name is Morgane, and I'm happy to have you either way. Okay. So, first, I feel like doing a little bit of a recap of the energies that are currently existing and taking place. I feel like as a preparation for this eclipse season. And this recap includes things that I've spoken about before that are now playing out. For some of you, might feel like I'm reiterating because maybe you've heard me say these things before, but I feel like it's relevant to repeat them. And also for the sake of those of you who haven't heard me say these before. Divine Breeze, hello from Florida. Thank you for joining and welcome. Um, so, right now, we're seeing this process, we're in the midst of it of after a good few years of absolute mental chaos in society and a lot of confusion and a lot of illusion and a lot of deception, things are starting to shake up by being exposed. And the way they're being exposed seemingly is by people saying things, sharing things, exposing, um, being vocal, speaking up, speaking out. But there's something that precedes that. That's a part of the path of it, right? It's part of the manifestation of this energy. What precedes that is that there's an incredible amount of light descending on Earth, on our existence. And when I say light, I mean awareness. I mean flashlight on all the dark corners. I mean water floods on the corners that are the most dusty and that you can't really reach with your arm to clean. So you have to pour water and soap there. And like again and again and again, I'm picking up like on the image of someone pouring a vessel of water again and again in a corner because they can't reach and clean it. And they're hoping that from the power of, inertia and gravitation of the water and from doing it in a very strong manner, then all the gunk will come out from its hiding. So basically, that's what is happening now to us. Yes, as people, but it's not just us, it's the planet as well. The way it plays out on a physical matter is frequency. Our frequency is rising. And if you're not familiar, there's the Schumann resonance. It's a way of measuring the frequency of the planet. Every single organism on the planet is alive and has a frequency and has a movement. And so far, the frequency of the planet has been, if I'm not mistaken, 7.83 hertz. And it's been going up and down in spikes in the past few years, showing that it's growing, meaning that the planet is moving faster, it's vibrating on a higher frequency, which makes it more light, right? The faster something moves, the lighter it is. Heat moves molecules faster. Heat melts solid into liquid and vaporizes liquid into gas. So basically, the faster the movement, the lighter the matter. Okay, and to and that parallels to a lighter mindset, more so elevated mindset, more conscientious, and that can tap into higher dimensions and higher levels of consciousness that we weren't able to until now because we were so much in the solid world. Now, don't get me wrong, we're still in the solid world. We're not going to start flying on our own, but it does manifest, for example, as more and more technological forms of transportations that are faster, um, more advanced. Now, that's a whole conversation in and of itself when it comes to technology and scientific advancements. There's the light manifestation of it, there's the shadow manifestation of it, there's the fast moving consciousness, positive divine manifestation of it, but then there's the technocrat, detached from the heart and only mind based aspect to it that is the dark one. But I don't want to go into that. I'm just giving examples as to how light is descending on our existence and how we are moving faster with our consciousness and with our life force, pretty much. And that creates resistance with anything in our life, both societally and individually, and in nature, that is too solid to survive. To survive, it's basically a clash of matters, or a clash of frequencies, to be more specific. Two very, very different energies or two very, very different frequencies can't coexist. There's an inevitable clash. So that's what we're seeing playing out right now in our society. And by the way, I see 11 times more people than likes. Catch up. Show your support for free. Can't believe I have to say this. I just noticed it. Like I was in the zone and talking, and then I was looking at the numbers, and I'm like, oh wow. Thanks, guys. Anyway, hello, Edward. Hello, Wayne. So that was a very fast paced recap of what's happening right now. And it's to explain why there's so much drama. And it seems like everything is worse: corruption and hatred um, and tyranny. But it's not really worse as much as this is how it's been. But now we are learning of it, or most people are now beginning to learn of it by it being exposed, by people being exposed, and by reality and truth being exposed to what it is, by science being exposed. But everything is shown for what it is truly. And it creates a lot of frustration and a lot of fear and a lot of bewilderment, because society, most sleeping people thought that we're in a very good place. Now, it's true that in relation to past times in history, we are far better, right? Relatively. However, once you see, you can't unsee. Once you know what's wrong, you can't take a second longer of it, right? Once we know as a society that certain things that we used to do are fundamentally wrong and bad, even though it makes sense for things to take time to transform and change and to truly reach their pinnacle of evolution, we understand that reasonably. But our hearts, now that we're awake as a society, in the past century, I would say, or maybe even a couple of decades for some, couple of years for others, a couple of months for many, many others as well. Anyway, let's not go pessimistic. But once the heart sees, it's just like you can't take anything less than the absolute euphoria that you know can happen and should happen, right? Because while we were asleep and oblivious to the human suffering and to the injustices in our life and in society, it's like we were on this auto mode, right? But once, it's like when someone thinks that an abusive situation that they're in is legitimate because that's how they were taught, they manage to survive it because they reason with it, right? They give themselves the alleged reasons as to why it should be like that. But once they know that what is happening to them is very, very wrong, they can't take a second longer, right? If you're boiling in hot water but you're not aware of it for whatever reason, but suddenly you become aware of it, you can't stay any longer. So we're now becoming edgy and itchy, being like, why is everything so awful? when things have been this way for a long time, they're just now being shown to us in full. Now, it's a mirroring process. It's not just in society, it's on an individual level, because how can we wake up as a society without waking up as individuals? So it's cause and effect, and it's a circle. It's like it's hard to say what comes first. It's a mutual process of society wakes up, and then as individuals we see them, we learn from it, and then we wake up ourselves, or we as individuals wake up, and then that by default, because society is made of individuals, it wakes up society. But it's a constant process, and it keeps happening every day. Every day there are new understanding, new resolutions, new awarenesses, and it's going to escalate and become faster and faster and more powerful. The snowball is growing and growing and growing, and the drama is going to continue and be larger. Now, you will be able to see the major positivity of all these processes. You'll be able to recognize, okay, something bad is happening, but here's to follow it, there's a revolution. Okay, here's hate speech, but to follow it, there's a lot of people standing up and in defense, right, of love and equality and justice. So we're going to constantly, for a while, experience really uncomfortable realizations of who we are, both as an individual level and as a society, and what goes on in the world around us. We're going to recognize a lot of corruptions that we were indifferent to, or oblivious to, or ignorant to, or we thought we knew what it is, but then we realized that we had it completely the other way around, or things were just not clear. It's going to be chips after chips after chips falling a lot, and I'm reiterating and emphasizing it, because if you think you've been feeling it, that's nothing compared to what is coming. So many changes and upheaval, and again, it's all for a really grand sake. Okay, the 1930s are going to be either to really dive into the new earth conversation. It's going to be a split of really ideal life ways of living, and then highly technocratic and detached. So we are either going into this extreme or to that extreme, or completely splitting into two different levels of society and of existences. And we will be, if it will be a split indeed, we will be so far off from one another. But either way, that's happening in the next decade, feeling it and living it, the process to it. That's it's like a soap opera meets sci-fi movie meets action hero movie meets all the villains of James Bond coming together to do whatever, and then they're being exposed, and then there's more drama. It's gonna be if you thought the past 2 years have been whatever, that's all I'm gonna say. Now, again, how does all of this have to do with the eclipse in Taurus and the full moon that we're tapping into this video to watch? Well, Uranus is conjunct this eclipse, and I feel like it's going to trigger everything that Uranus has been preparing us for within the archetype of Taurus. It's now going to come to a head. Okay, excuse me. Let me get rid of the trolls. Okay. If I have moderators here, feel free to do the work of annihilating trolls. So, as I was saying, Uranus, that has been dramatic in Taurus, seemingly, but what it was actually doing is setting the foundations to the real drama, to the real shift. We're undergoing it. It's not going to come as a boom, as a shock. It's like we're going from 0 to 100 as a process, and we're on the path there, so we're already in it. But this eclipse being conjunct, being a lunar eclipse, it's going to eclipse what was confusing about this process, what wasn't clear to us, what was what hid the reasons and where it's all leading to and how it's all going to come together, that's what is going to be eclipsed. And things are going to start being really surface level, clear and seen and understood. And we will be able to take actual decisions. We'll be able to make actual decisions based on this information. Now, many of you that are in tune have already made strong decisions because you've already picked up on these energy. But now society is going to join us, because things that you have seen, that you seekers and seers have seen already, and shifters have seen, and that society has not seen and couldn't see through the veils and through the illusion, now they're going to see. Okay, now it's going to be very, very, very clear. Hold on. And things like that, what I've just been dealing with right now, are going to happen as well. It's such a mirroring of reality. The trolls are going to come out and play everything, all the dark that has been hiding beneath the surface, that only people who are intuitive, sensitives, aware could see. Now they're going to all, from that light that I was talking about in the beginning, now they're all going to come out into the surface for everyone to see. And there's going to be a lot of I told you so. And there's going to be a lot of missing apologies from people who realize that other people were right on all kinds of topics, by the way. I'm not just insinuating for one topic, but all kinds of topics. They'll recognize that they were wrong and that others have seen clearly what they couldn't see, but I wouldn't expect too many apologies, by the way. A lot of people are going to double down. A lot of people are going to act like they've seen it all along. And a lot of people are just going to be quiet because they won't have much to say, but very few apologies. But bottom line, there's going to be an ease for those of you who have been picking up on the truth, because now everybody's going to see what you have seen. You will not, no one will be able to ignore the solid proof and solid information anymore. Okay. So on one hand, that's good. On the other hand, it's going to be exhausting. It's just everything is going to jump up and out into the open. Okay. And now this leads me to something that a lot of you might not like, especially if you tend to be self-absorbed. That's okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. What is it with trolls today, guys? I need a moderator. I need someone to come through and moderate and do this for me. I can't keep clearing everything from these. Alice, are you here still? Alice and Shambhala. I'm choosing you to be a moderator. Okay, I'm putting my faith in you, Alice. And when you see trolls trolling, hide them, report them, delete them, all of that jazz. I don't have energy for that headache. Thank you. Sorry for just putting it on you, but we have to work together. What was I saying? Okay, the part where some of you are not going to like. So we tend to look at planetary shifts and divine orchestrations. We tend to look at it through our own perspective and lens and how it affects us as human beings. We forget that the planet is a living organism. We forget that there's an animal kingdom, and sometimes we're the bad guy. And everything that is taking place right now in the energy of Taurus, full moon, eclipse, north node, Uranus, all of that. Now, a star, it's gonna apply to many of you on a personal level, of course, and we'll get into it once if I'll have enough energy for the by the sign messages. But and that will be on an individual, personal level message. But before it is about us, and yes, it will also apply on our life because we all have Taurus in our chart, right? But before it applies to us, it applies on a collective, grand point of view that is inclusive to creation, okay, that is inclusive to all living organisms. And that includes nature and the animal kingdom. And Taurus represents the cow, divine feminine, the great mother, nature, animals. And the North Node is in Taurus with Uranus. Everything that is taking place now is for the highest good of the ecosystem of our existence that includes us, but are not limited to us, and will treat us the way in regards to, it will treat us appropriately to how we have been behaving as part of this ecosystem. Okay, yes, there are the sky gods, okay, the monotheistic Abrahamic God, cool. You can look at it as Saturn, you can look at it as Cronus, you can look at it as whatever you want. But then there are, there's the president, and then there's there's the governors, and then there's the mayors. There's also the gods of the planet. There's Gaia, there's Mother Nature, there's Goddess, the womb of the cosmos. Without her, there is no life. And she is the one that is being placed now on a pedestal when it comes to all the shifts and all the changes and all the divine justice and the karma. It's for her. So if you're going to experience, let's say, nature disasters, and you're going to think, this is so bad, but this is supposed to be a good process that leads us to new earth, right? From your perspective, it's bad, but it's beneficial to the planet. Because, see, Mother Nature will be fine. Gaia will be fine. She's going to win. She's more powerful than us. The question is, will we be fine? Because if we're good with her, then we are a benevolent life force within this bigger life force. But if we're not, then we're something that we need, that it needs to be resisted. That's not very comfortable for us. So a lot of people are going to be like, well, this is supposed to be the dawn of the new age. This is supposed to be something good. This is supposed to be new life. This is supposed to be euphoria. Yeah, well, if you've been, I'm not you specifically, but as a whole, if you've been damaging and destructive to the inclusive euphoria that takes, that includes every living organism and the true nature cycles of nature, then you're going to be the one that needs to be taken care of, because you've been going against the actual euphoria. So do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Now, I don't know where you're at on that, on that spectrum. You specifically, you know your life more than I do. I'm speaking to a collective. I don't know you personally, right? But See, everyone is like sitting in front of making videos about this energy and how it will affect you positively. And they're looking at how, the Taurus energy will affect them in their life. And it's like, I see people are like, some astrologers are like, oh, you can't find meat, or meat is very expensive now. And they're saying it as if it's like a bad thing, as if it's like part of Saturn being in retrograde that is hurting society. No, no, that shit is not Saturn retrograding that is allegedly being harsh on society. That is karma delivered to society for hurting Earth, for hurting the cow. Literally, Taurus is the cow. Taurus is that steak, is that burger. Okay. And the fact that you can't get it as easily as you could have, that you're being deprived of it, that is the karmic divine justice. It's just not on your side. The F with astrologers who are talking about it as if it's the bad thing, and it's like, how are you so narcissistic while being an astrologer or a spiritual teacher? Like, how are you not connecting the dots? That the North Node in Taurus is not about you. It's about femininity, absolutely. But first, it's about the absolute femininity, Earth, and then the representative of it, the cow and the animals, and ourselves as well, but not if we are a destructive force. So everybody is being super narcissistic right now with their interpretations of what's going on in Taurus. And I just like I just sit and like. You don't have to like it, but at least see it. At least have some self-awareness. Especially when you talk to people and you're supposed to guide them. You're not helping. We're not helping people by telling them that the bad things that are happening to them are a result of something bad, as opposed to a result of something good that is happening to someone else. But to you, it's just because of where you are in that story, then you're not experiencing it as a good thing. And how and then how you can change that. So let me tell you how you can change that. You can align with Mother Nature. Let me tell you something, and I know a lot of you are not going to like it, but those of you who have been already getting yourself used to plant-based nutrition are going to have a far easier ride in time in the next few years than those of you who have been sticking to the meat and dairy industry. Those are, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether you think it's fair or not, you're going to have a really hard time. And it's not going to be from the bad energy. No, that's going to, whatever those of you who are going to interpret it as like bad, you're not seeing anything. You're not seeing anything. You're not tapped into anything. You're not picking up on anything. I don't care how much you know here. You know nothing in here. You're not picking up on anything of the energy. If you're only picking up on the subjective, selfish point of view of us as humans, we matter too. I'm human. I love us. I want us to be okay. Right? But if you're only picking up on the energy from your perspective that has been selfish and narcissistic, you're not seeing things. You're a human. You might be an okay person. You might care and you might try your best, but you're not. You're not truly sentient. So let this be a wake-up call. I don't have an issue with you. I don't know you. Again, people are now like, oh, she's talking about me. I don't know you. It's not personal. If instead of taking this and growing from this and waking up from this, you're like being upset, then that's just further proof of what I'm saying. Alchemists, true alchemists, can take the heat. If you can't take the heat, You're not true and true alchemists. Alchemists can take the heat. It's not comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable on your ass. And this is the actual true message from this eclipse in Taurus, the intense one, the divine one, the mystical one, the powerful one, the new earth one, all of it. This is it. This is the message. You don't like it? I'm not. What do you want me to tell you? If you have been holistic and plant-based, you will have a far easier ride, both on a mundane level when it comes to simply the food you eat and your habits and what you buy and what you cook, because you're already there. You already know. And you'll have the food that you need. You're not going to be in lack. You'll be in abundance. You'll be fine. But if not, if you're still reliant on animal products and these atrocious industries that are literally the incarnation of the devil on this planet, if there was an incarnation to the devil on this planet, it would be the meat industries. Don't you answer me if you've never been to one or if you haven't ever seen it. Don't you dare. I'm not going to go into the conversation about biology, even though I could. I'm just going to summarize it, and then you're free to do your due diligence and your research in case you disagree. But biologically, we're not supposed to consume meat, us as humans. Lions? Yeah, but you're not a lion, my friend. I'm sorry. I hate to be the one to tell you this. Okay? We're vegetarian creatures biologically. Behavior-wise, we're carnivore. Ego-wise, we're carnivore. So we've embedded it into our life, but we're not meant to. Okay, it's not our nature. So every time someone talks to me about nature, it's like, okay, you're not a lion. It's not your nature. It's part of nature, but it's not your nature. So you're going against nature by not acting within your nature. Never mind. Never mind. Why am I so focused on it? Because it's a very big aspect of this energy. It's huge. Uranus, North Node, in Taurus. This is what it's about. Whatever happens to you in your personal life is a result of that, of what is happening to the archetype of Taurus that is not you. It's not you. Again, on an individual level, if you have a lot of Taurus in your chart, and if you're aligned with these messages and you're already in a wholesome resonance with the ecosystem, then it's a different story. But still, it's not about you. It just means you'll have it easier. Taurus is about the simplest form of love and of sincerity. And when I say simple, I don't mean like in a degrading manner. I mean it in a very holy manner. The archetype of Taurus, right? It's so sincere. It is so loving. It is so true. It's the dirt. It's the earth. It's the soil from which everything grows. It's life. It's life. Okay. This inside soil here. This is Taurus. Okay. To the vain and the ignorant, it's just brown dirt that you step all over. How many people treat Taurus like that, huh? Little do they know is that that's what gives them life. And what have we done to our soil, literally, in the past decades? What have we done to our soil in the past decades, right? This energy is going to shake our ass to the core and will force healing on, force, like in a good way, healing on the soil. We better join it because we can't beat it. We're not meant to beat it. If we'll beat it, an earthquake will come and swallow us in. Swallow us in. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. Quite the opposite. Forewarned, forearmed. There's a lot of good to this. I know I sound dramatic or allegedly negative, but it's actually really good. It's for the sake of euphoria. It's not going to feel euphoric, but it's for the sake of it. But there is so much rot right now that needs to be stripped off of our psyche, our collective psyche, our individual psyche. And this, Scorpio Taurus axis of eclipses that we're in the season of now, that is what it brings to the forefront. What matters about life. It's literally matters of life and death, Taurus Scorpio, right? It's going to light the match for all of it. It's like Uranus has been setting all the little campfires everywhere, all over the world, preparing. And this eclipse is going to light the match on all those campfires and not God forbid explosion. I don't mean that, but like light being shed on everything at once, so much. Now it's holy. It's holy. It's not a bad thing. It's beautiful. And many of you out there, especially those of you who have been conscientious and aware for the past few years and have been seeing through all so much deception, you're going to succeed. You're going to be okay. You're going to blossom. You're going to sail through this. You're going to be taken care of. I can't, promise every single person, but, when we all have challenges in life. But all in all, to give an analogy, I don't actually mean it, but if there's like a Noah's Ark, then you're on the ark. That's what I mean. Okay. I meant it as an analogy. Please don't freak out. It's not what I say. It's not what I think. Okay. And hello, everyone who has joined the chat. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm happy that you managed to catch me live, and I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for saying hi. I'm talking, but I'm every now and then I'm like looking over to the chat. Okay. What's next to talk about before I move to messages by the Zodiac sign? Anything else on a collective level, on a divine level? Matriarchy is coming through really strongly. I feel like a lot of matriarchal societies are going to come up, not necessarily just as women, but could be men that are very in tune, leaders that are men that are very in tune with their own divine femininity and the importance of femininity and of nature and of life. I do see good things. I do see the process of corrupt tyrannies fall, of narcissistic leaderships that have been gaslighting the world into thinking that they're good and vice versa, also being exposed. It's already in the process. We're starting to see the truth. Am Yisrael Chai. Starting to see the truth after a really long time of deception and gaslighting. And it is a positive thing. And not only is it going to be okay, it's going to be amazing. But the higher the mountain, the more challenging the climb. And I believe in you. You have the life force, you have the heart, you have the spirit. You brought us here. You manifested this timeline shift. Your prayer and your hope and your love and your empathy and your desire for a better world and your constant attempt to do good in your own life and to become better every day. You wake up and you try to do your best. And if you feel like you're failing, or if whatever, you still keep going. And I'm so proud of you, because those of you that are on this journey, on this existential journey of shifting our timelines into something better, you did this. You are the ones that together, whether you are aware of it as an individual or not, but there was always symbiosis between what you echoed, your spirit, and what others have echoed, with all of the hope and the prayer and the empathy and the love, and the true desire to bring a positive change. You've shaken the earth. So really, really be proud of yourself, because every single one of you has such a big part in this. When you accidentally hit your plant and you apologize to it, you're doing that. When you walk on the street and you purposefully skip above the row of the ants and not ignore it and step all over it, you're doing that. When you make a different choice in the grocery store, you're doing that. When no one is seeing, it's always seen. You're always seen. You put an imprint on this cosmic ecosystem with everything that you do, small or big. You add to this fabric of hope. The things that you do are not nothing, and they're not small. They are so meaningful. Even when you sit with yourself and you cry over a lost love, or a lost loved one, or a failure, a broken dream, and you allow yourself to indulge in the pain, when you do that, when you're so honest with yourself, you have reverence to your hopes, you have reverence to your dreams, you have reverence to your love. By mourning it, by grieving it, by feeling the pain of not having it, or losing it, you revere it. And it's also an addition to this fabric of hope. It's really, it's amazing. When you read that book about philosophy, and you read that quote or that paragraph, and you share it on your Instagram, and you get 3 likes, but you know what? You still add it to the fabric. And I know I've said some things that sounded negative or harsh or painful, and they are, but they're also true, and they're also, the way out of the tunnel. We got to go through it. On that note, let's give messages by the Zodiac sign. I'm going to pull tarot. If you are watching this afterwards and you feel like you want to help out with time stamping the messages by the Zodiac signs, please feel free. Otherwise, if you're wondering what to watch everything and apply it to where you have it in your chart, whichever sign, and make a big picture out of it, or not. Watch whatever you want, honestly. Okay. So let's start with Taurus, because we're talking about the eclipse in Taurus. A message for Taurus. Oof. My Taurus shifters. Message for Taurus from the eclipse, from the lunar eclipse in Taurus. Queen of Swords. You know what you know. Speak it. Speak it loud. Speak it clear. Speak it sound. Speak it. Say it. Write it. Sing it. You're supposed to vocally lead this. Now, something about the Saturn square here, because this is Aquarius energy. By the way, in case you're wondering why I'm saying the Queen of Swords is an Aquarius. Queens are fixed energy. So the Queen of Swords is fixed air, making her Aquarius, as opposed to kings, for example, who are cardinal. So the King of Swords will be cardinal air, aka Libra. Now that's the formality of tarot. Of course, you can roam with your intuition and your imagination. And I actually rarely even talk about the court cards as a specific zodiac sign in YouTube, on YouTube tarot readings. Personal readings, sure, but just so you know, if you're curious what it formally represents, the Queen of Swords is Aquarius. Anyway, but I'm going to take it into the square with Saturn. It's not harming you, Taurus. It's giving you mental power. It's giving you mental zest, and it's giving you courage to speak the Aquarian truths that you know. It's actually supporting you. That's beautiful. It's keeping you safe throughout all of these. Saturn is giving you a safe ground to say all the crazy Uranian things. Anything else for Taurus? Three of Cups. Whenever you can have fun, enjoy, connect with people, and see the beauty of people. And when you communicate with them what you know or what you think and so on and so forth, do so from a place of love and being eye-leveled and equal. That will bring a lot of attention and reciprocity, and they'll be able to take it in. Okay. But honestly, you gotta find ways to have fun. So wherever it comes, take it. You're getting an invitation to go somewhere, go. You have an opportunity to take a break, take a break. And celebrate the good stuff with talking about it, with manifesting it, with doing the with doing all the cliches new age stuff. You know, writing it down, imagining it, feeling it, believing in it, bringing it forward. Speak it into creation. Okay. Gemini. Message for Gemini from this eclipse. It's in your 12th house for those of you that are Gemini rising. Ooh, it's going to, okay, sometimes I'll do tarot, sometimes I won't. It depends on the message that comes through and what is more important to say. Stuff that have been insidiously stubborn sitting in your subconscious is going to just be yanked out, and you're going to be liberated from a lot of like psychological blockages that have been preventing you from moving forward energetically and in your life and as who you are. Right? You have your sense of self, but something dark and deep has been constantly pulling you back, controlling you, from triggers to misconceptions to fears, and it's shaken and cleared. So it's going to be a little bit, the next month, let's say the first month will be a little bit uncomfortable, but then there will be an incredible level of ease. I think Sagittarius season, Christmas season is going to do you a lot of good. Okay. Any tarot for Gemini? Okay, sure. Anything else for Gemini from this eclipse? Eight of Swords. Don't insist on what wants to leave, on what wants to leave from within you. Don't stay imprisoned by it. Don't double down. King of Wands. Some of you, I see some of you Geminis are trying to pretend like someone in your life doesn't exist, like it never happened, or you don't care, or you're not thinking about them, or and you're constantly trying to keep yourself busy and creative and pump yourself up. But they're there, as I said, in the back of your mind, right in the 12th house, in the psyche, where you have Taurus, and that's what wants to speak and be free. So until you turn around to look at it or at them, you will never be free. Facing away from the mirror is not going to change your face, not going to change your outfit, not seeing it in the mirror. So, picking up on the song turn around, every now and then I get a little bit, don't remember the lyrics, but that. Okay. Cancer, message for Cancer from this eclipse in Taurus, full moon eclipse in Taurus. Message for Cancer from the eclipse. Oh, so pretty. Strength. Your bravery is going to remind you this time of how brave you are. And I feel like a lot of you are really connecting to the conversation that I had about in respect to nature and Mother Nature and Taurus and that archetype. I feel like you're really connecting to your instincts and to what you truly feel strongly about that you are or that you need to do. And you're guided by no fear. Like fear is just not, it's like the fear is dissipating and you just know what to do. And I'm picking up some of you are falling in love. Like strength card is not spoken often on how it's also about like real, true, pure love, of being really enamored with someone's soul, with someone's spirit, like really seeing beyond the material body and seeing their soul or the soul connection that you have with them. It can be a very, very loving spiritual card. It's like someone that makes you want to, I don't know, save the world. Like, this is beautiful, actually. I'm feeling like this sudden, this warm feeling. Like some of you, it's going to be very significant in your love life this time. Like you're going to either connect with, meet a very, very special soulmate. And I think this is someone that you've known maybe from a past lifetime, or it's going to feel like you've known them forever. There's such a sense of familiarity. And I'm picking up on like iron fist with velvet glove. Either it's you or this person that you're connecting with, or the energy surrounding this, something that is very gentle but also very powerful. And courage, I keep getting the word courage. Like I even see it written, which normally I don't see. Normally I just know things, but now I'm seeing the word courage written. And this is channeling, but something with someone's hair. Someone really likes your hair, or you really like someone's hair. You're like you want to touch, like you want to touch their hair. this reading is getting this reading is getting a little weird. Okay, let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. Let's pull another card for Cancer for more context. Show me more, please, for Cancer about this. The Sun. So now we have very strong Leo energy, the heart space, light, warmth, incredible amount of light and warmth. And this is also major success. Some of you are going to some of you, this eclipse is going to mark a very significant success in your life. You're like going to be in the spotlight. You're going to star, child star. I'm picking up on the word child star. Okay. We're going to work with a child. Some of you are going to work with children or with animals. Some of you are going to bring a new child into the world, or you're going to get a new pet. But this is, oh my God, this is blinding. So much light. It's beautiful. Okay, this is also like really falling in love, like becoming Ace of Wands, like becoming absolutely addicted to someone. But I see it in a good way. It's very soul based. Okay, this is, I can keep on forever, so I'm gonna move on to Leos. Message for Leo, please. Leo, from this lunar eclipse in Taurus. Ace of Cups. Wow, what's with all the love? Leo, I'm seeing some of you really connecting to your own soul, and to angelic realms, like having a direct, some of you are going to tap into a direct source of information and of healing. Some of you, if you're into, maybe you're going to start feeling that your hands are tingly or warm, and you're doing Reiki, or you want to study Reiki, or there's something very healing about your presence and about your hands. And some of you are going to experience, I'm picking up miraculous healing, like suddenly healed, or suddenly okay, or suddenly feeling good, like suddenly something is, like you're free of something or cleansed of something. Drink only clean water, by the way. Don't drink tap water. Only drink spring water, or like filtered water. Um, Even when you're boiling something, even when you're cooking rice, especially because all that water soaks into the rice beans. So only clean water. This is coming through really strongly, especially if there's some health stuff going on. I'm picking up water, clean water. Speaking of. Okay. Show me more context, please, for Leo, for this Ace of Cups. Maybe one more card. Seven of Cups. How interesting. 1-7. Clarity through massive confusion. So I'm picking up like something that is very confusing in your life and absolutely unclear and foggy, and you just can't come to terms with, you can't figure it out. Suddenly, like some divine inspiration is going to come. It's going to be a dream, it's going to be a channel, it's going to be a serendipitous message that you're going to receive somehow, but something is going to bring a sudden pour of clarity onto a situation. So if you're feeling confused now, know that this is on the way. And don't try to overthink it. Let it be what it is. Don't try to make sense out of it. Okay? Okay. All right, Leo. Next, we have Virgo. So So this is really, so Virgos, you're naturally in tune with Mother Nature, right? You are Persephone, the priestess, or the seasons. So many of you are, or especially those of you that are here, like in this space. I think that in combination to the fact that it's trining you all this energy in Taurus, it feels really good for you. It feels very enlightening and elevated. And if there was something that was limiting your freedom, Virgo, like freedom in the world, right? Ninth house, or freedom when it comes to your belief systems. Like if your belief systems and your values have been limiting you or creating limits in your life, or if there has been some sort of restriction on your life when it comes to the world or in general, it's going to just be like just eclipsed, and it's going to start pouring all the freedom that you were supposed to have. It's going to start pouring from here on, and it's going to just be like a roller coaster, but in a good way. Show me message for Virgo, please, from the tarot, from this eclipse in Taurus. This flipped. What Cancer had. And the High Priestess. Wow. I love the energies I love all your energies so far. I feel like I'm tapping into some pretty awesome shifters. Okay. Strength card and the High Priestess. From mastery of boundaries, you became boundless. The only way to free yourself of something is by mastering it. You can't be bound to something that you have mastered, right? So by mastering the boundaries of the physical world and of also Saturnian restrictive boundaries on yourself, where you had to be strong in the face of what you believe or what you know, right? Even if no one else see it, if you're the only one who saw beyond the veil, right? If you were the only one who could see under the surface, right? It was clear as day for you, but it was hidden for others. That required a lot of strength and courage to be consistent in it, possibly alone for some of you, because the High Priestess is solitary. I'm not going to go into it. She's not always solitary, but it's in her when she's in her zone. Okay. Shelly, hi, thank you for joining. I'm happy to have a moderator. Every now and there are a couple of trolls that keep every now and then coming back. I think I got the handle of them, but if you see them, just no, don't blink, just get rid of them. Okay. Thank you. So from being really, really brave and consistent and strong with the boundaries on yourself is going to feel so liberating when you finally don't need those boundaries. Because the only way for us to have boundaries is if they're necessary. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the nature of our existence. Boundaries manifest in your life because you need them, either for protection from the world or to protect the world from you. Either way, there has to be some sort of separating entity between you and whatever the boundary is between, for the sake of you growing into an energy that doesn't require the boundary. And as soon as you don't no longer require the boundary just drops. Doesn't matter how many times you try to break it, move it, it won't go away until something on the inside is ready. So I feel like the boundaries that have existed to you were in ways of spiritual enlightenment. This is a very powerful combination, by the way. It's powerful witch right here. These two cards. Okay? So for the sake of spiritual enlightenment, you had to be really, really restricted. And that pressure created a diamond, right? And that pressure created a pearl. And this eclipse in Taurus marks the outing of that pearl or of that diamond, right? It's being dug from underneath the earth, or you're just sprouting out of the earth. I know it makes sense to you. You had to really moderate between very polar energies in your life or in life, and constantly be very, very vigilant in sustaining balance. And it's a very, it's a very delicate balance. It's a very, it's a thin silver lining. It's very hard to walk. Um, and those of you that this is the reading is for, you're masterful. You've done it, and you're like being born into this butterfly that you've been cocooning into, and it's gorgeous. Congratulations, Virgo. Um, one more card, okay. My priest is like staring at me. One more card. Okay, definitely talking to some witches. This combination, yo. Queen of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Strength card. Seriously, this is like magic all over. This is shamanism. This is witchiness. This is priestesshood, all wrapped into one. You're mysterious and vague, but you're also fun and lighthearted. But you're also brave and persevering. Like, who are you? I love you. I admire you. Cool. Just keep being you. You don't. It's just confirmation. It's confirmation. This is also being in the spotlight, by the way. It's a strong combination for performance, for the performing acts. You can do, maybe it will spark a success or recognition. Okay, Libra. Message for Libra from this eclipse. Eighth house. Libra, pay close attention. Some of you are going to have your ancestors try to reach out to you and talk to you, and form a stronger bond connection with you and communication. For those of you that are, your channel is open, they might come to you in your dreams or in channeling or in creative writing or free writing. I'm sorry. For those of you who need more assistance, just either practice meditation or try to, wear, if you have an heirloom or something that belonged to an ancestor or to an elder in your family, wear it or look at it or hang that picture on the wall, but I see it happening. Those of you who've had magical abilities dormant, it's going to wake up. It's going to challenge you to step up your game. This energy. It's going to challenge you to step up your game. Everything. Everything. No more room for excuses. There will be a resolution to something that you were hiding or is a secret of yours. There will be resolution to it. For those of you that it applies to, you might receive an inheritance. I'm hearing footsteps on cold stone. So it's like an establishment that is an old establishment. It was built like it's a like one of those castles that are all stones. So the floor is stone. And there's an echo. So it's a big space with little furniture. And I'm hearing the footsteps of the shoes on the stone and their echo. What is this? What's going on for Libra? And I'm seeing a big painting, a huge painting on one of the walls of like one of those ancestors. Like there's a portrait of them somewhere. Now, maybe this is from your past lifetime. I don't know, but there are a lot of places in the world that still have that, so it could definitely apply today for you somehow. I think those of you that this apply to, you don't know what I'm talking about yet, but you will, and then you might remember this reading. Cool. I think it's not something that you can think of right now. It's not something that you have in mind specifically. Someone that resembles you, look like you. What is this message for Libra? So interesting. So many downloads I'm getting for Libras. I know Mercury is now in Libra. That's why, but I'm getting tons of downloads for you guys. Hold on. Love your God. Wow, so interesting. I'm not telling you which God or what God to believe in, but whatever you believe in, show a lot of gratitude and love for that entity. And don't ask for things. I'm picking up just express gratitude. There's no room, there's no need for manifestation right now or for requests. This energy is happening in your 8th house. It's just gonna come out from the alleys. There's nothing you're supposed to do about it. It's just gonna present itself, just express gratitude. Some of you are gonna get like an influx of memories from past lifetimes. You're gonna dream past lifetimes. You're gonna remember. You're gonna have deja vus that you will be able to really pinpoint. You're gonna have soulmates come into your life. This is crazy. This is very magical for you. I'm very pleasantly surprised by all this. It's gonna be a very magical energy for you. Like, you're gonna feel like you're thrown into like the rabbit hole or to like a different fantasy world, like you're in a never-ending story or something. Like you've entered a book and now you're flying on back of a dragon. Libra, it's just not stopping. Okay, let's see if something else. Wear that jewelry, whatever jewelry you have in mind right now that may have belonged to an elder in your family, wear it. If you were in doubt, yes, go for it. It doesn't have to be a jewelry, it can be a watch, right? Okay, let's see if the tarot says something, though this was a long enough message. But let's see if the tarot says something for Libra. Knight of Pentacles. Holy cannoli, okay. And Judgment. It's, you know what it looks like? It's like, speaking of the castle, whatever it was, it's like a little cute midget going through a really long journey on their donkey or something cute like that. And they reach a huge castle of a titan where the door is like relatively to them is like the house of a castle, is like the size of a castle. And they're like down there like knocking on the door to talk to this entity. It's like it's like you're dreaming, it's like you're having a dream where you're reaching the gates of heaven or something dramatic like that. Um, and you're like, how did I get, what am I doing here? And you're like knocking on the door and you know God is on the other side and like you're hearing their footsteps that are about to open the door. That's kind of the vibe, and you're like choking. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. I feel like there's this, now you can, this could play out as an event in your life that maybe you're like meeting someone that you have admiration for or you're really excited about, or that you feel like they're larger than life, right? And that your heart pumps, or like you have this, like, I don't want to say groupie, but you have this like strong admiration and awe and sense of awe at them. So it feels like, but it's exciting, it's good. And I feel like there's something very that, like there's a powerful experience behind it for you to experience and to go through. And I think it's going to be very interesting and very transformative. And I think you're going to enjoy it. I don't know whatever this is or who's this person that you're going to meet, but have fun. Okay, can we move along now to Scorpio? Thanks. Wow, Libra, you guys had a, you're welcome. Let me fix myself. I wish I had more water. I don't want to get up and bring myself more water, but I'll survive. Scorpio, you just today, I'm recording this on the day of the partial solar eclipse in Scorpio. I made a video for that as well, so you feel free to watch that. So Scorpio, this is happening across from you. Sorry, I need to stretch myself. No escape. There's no escaping this. There's no escaping this what? There's no escaping this realization. There's no escaping this decision. There's no escaping this situation. There's no escaping it. It's something that you're supposed to go through. So if something happens that is like, don't try to escape it, just try to experience it. For very few of you, it has to do with karma. No escaping it. Okay. Why are we freaking out my Scorpio seekers? That's not nice. For just some of you. I mean, you just had an eclipse. The sign of Scorpio and the ruler Pluto, and the planet that is ruled by this, by your sign Pluto, is also just moved direct in Capricorn, very cold. But the eclipse in Taurus brings warmth. This is such a confusing message. I'm so sorry. Let me try to pack it. Okay, I'm just gonna say the word that comes to my head. It feels like a gibberish of a lot of stuff, but let's see how it all comes together. I'm picking up salvation, feeling saved, feeling relieved, feeling like finally something is over. You're like, thank God this is over. So some of you are just gonna finalize something that has been in your life for a very long time. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a commitment of some sort, or something that has bothered you. But it's been intense, and it's finally over. The way you're experiencing it, and you just can't believe it's over. Some of you, not in a good way. Some of you are like, I can't believe it's over. Some of you, something is going to leave you. Some of you are going to leave something, but this is so final. This ending, Scorpio, this is so final. Whatever it is you're wrapping up. Tarot. Let's do the tarot for Scorpio, please. For the eclipse in Taurus. One more. Scorpio, one more for Scorpio. And this eclipse in Taurus, one more for Scorpio. You're trying to run away from something. You're trying to avoid something. And it kind of links to what we heard in the beginning, the no escape. With the Seven of Swords here and the Knight of Wands, you're trying to escape it. But we got a very clear message of no escape. So, I don't know. Like this person is sneaking out and away from something, and they're doing it quietly and slowly so no one notices, and then they pick up speed and they move really, really fast. So either someone is going to just disappear from your life out of the blue, and you're like, how did they just pull this act of disappearance? Some of you are doing it yourself. We're free to make our decisions. We are not free of the consequences. So I'm not saying whatever this is shouldn't end. If anything, this is a cycle of endings for you. But maybe the way, if this is you, then maybe consider the way you go about it. Maybe be less prevalent or less frivolous, I'm sorry, and more conscientious to the possible consequences. And just the way you go about it, consider it. But if someone else is doing it, there's nothing you can do. They're just going to vanish. And it's like, it's okay. Okay. Saggy. Sorry. If you have not been keeping it healthy, you will find out soon. Your body's going to tell you. If you've been on top of your health and of your body and your nutrition and whatever you needed to do, if you went to the doctor when you needed to go to the doctor, if you needed to clean your teeth when you needed to clean your teeth, if you did all the things, golden. Okay. If not, your body's going to tell you. If you've been overworking yourself, if you've been pushing it, if you've been disrespectful to your temple, you're gonna feel it. You might be finalizing a job that you've been with for a very long time and you're just going to leave or something like that, or you're going to get a major promotion. It's like one of the two. You're either super progressing and advancing, or completely leaving. You're not going to stay in the same position or in the same type of routine that you've had so far. It's either a big new beginning within that sector or a completely different change or a complete ending. Now a message from the tarot, please, for the eclipse in Taurus. I like this. 7 of Cups in the reverse. One more. And Knight of Pentacles. Is this like the second time it came out or the third time? Okay, you are very adamant on dissipating any confusion or fog in your life or in your consciousness. You're very resilient and stubborn in a good way, and you're not giving up, and you're like, I'm going to clear this thing one by one. I'm going to bring order and clarity to the situation, and I'm going to be super on point and on top of things. And you are, and you're doing a really great job of really yanking out the bullshit and clearing out everything that had, if there has been aspects that people, things, situations that have been creating mess in your daily life and have been confusing you and have been creating some discomfort, you're going to find a way to just deal with them once and for all properly. And you're going to be super you're going to be classy about it. You're going to be politically correct. You're going to be mature about it. This is pretty cool. So good luck with whatever this is. And you want to clear out any confusion that you have in your life. I'm picking up that too. Capricorn. This is also trining you, this energy. It's in your 5th house. Yeah. So message for Capricorn from the eclipse in Taurus. There might be an ending with a lover or with romance. Or there will be the conversation, like a make it or break it, what are we kind of thing. And then there will be a decision. I don't think it will be dragged on for a long time because the 5th house is not like the 7th house. It's like something, it's not like divorcing a partner. It's like breaking up with a situationship, more kind of thing. What have you been writing? Have you been writing something? If you've had some writer's block, then it might be relieved in the next few months and you'll find inspiration because you've been insisting on one direction, but this eclipse will help you kind of tap into another direction that might be more fluid for you. Show me Capricorn for this eclipse. What is going on with the 7 of Cups today? One more from this eclipse for Capricorn, from the Taurus lunar eclipse for Capricorn. Okay. 9 of Pentacles in the reverse and King of Swords in the upright. Someone doesn't want to be alone anymore, and they're gonna have the talk. So either you're gonna give someone the talk. We're either an it, we're either a thing, or we're not. Or someone's gonna give you that talk. Speak your truth. Don't linger, don't confuse, don't keep them around if you're not sure. Be very clear on how you feel and what you want. Some of you need to work on something when it comes to your knowledge before you can gain results, and you're upset by it because you feel like some of you think you know more than you actually know about something, and you're like, how come I'm not getting better results or more recognition? It's because you don't know as much as you think you do, and you have more to learn. So this process is is a humbling process, but in a good way, because it will eventually lead you to get to where you want to be and know what you want to know. Wait. Capricorn. Something with bad wine? What? There's bad wine? Either in your fridge, don't drink it if it's like old, or if you kept it open and not sealed or something. Don't drink the wine. Okay. Sounds very specific. I hope no one poisoned your wine, Capricorn. And I hope you're not going to poison anybody's wine. What is this medieval messages? You need to get a wine taster, whatever. What is going on with me and my hair? Why am I like obsessing? Can we not make this about my hair, please? Can we focus? There's more to this. There's a clergy. I'm picking up on a clergy, like a man or a woman of faith, of a religion of some sort, that are confused if they want to be solitary. They're not sure. You're not sure if you're ready to be alone, if you're ready to commit to being alone. Some of you are considering on breaking your vows. Your mind is clear, but you're gaslighting yourself is to telling yourself that you're confused because you're not supposed to have these thoughts, but these thoughts are actual clarity. Know thyself and how you feel and what you want. Meraki, I have old wine in my fridge that need to throw out. Ha, funny. Shelly, thank you for moderating. Self-discovery, Virgo in the house. Cool. Hello, Kiss JG. Hey. Hi, everyone. Yeah, anyway, Capricorn, that was your message. I hope it helped and it was clear. I really do. Aquarius. Ooh. This is a doozy. Wait. Right, because it's in your, I see, it's in your 4th house. Yeah. Ancestry. Oh, sorry. Something to do with ancestry / childhood. Something with the home is finalized. Either a process of purchasing a home is finalized, or selling a home is finalized, or things are coming together in your home, or you're realizing you don't want to be in your home anymore, or this has nothing to do with the physical home, more so like your childhood upbringing. Something is being realized. I want to be more clear on this message. It feels a little... Everything you thought you knew about your home or your past or your origin, your questioning is being brought to questioning, either by you or by events of some sort. You're guided now, Aquarians, to form a new type of legacy. It's new but old. It's something that is ancestral to you, that you're feeling guided to bring forward and live by now. Go for it. And this eclipse will mark that, will be very significant, and it will clear out whatever was blocking your connection to it. Tarot for Aquarius, from message from this eclipse in Taurus. Temperance and King of Wands in the reverse. Okay, a lot of fire. Temperance is actually fire and water. And the King of Wands, who is fire, is now in the reverse. Whatever it is that you're trying to mix together, to bring together, to connect the worlds, practice more patience and tolerance and listening over being proactive and reactive in that process. I'm picking up, you will be able to do a lot more by not trying to do a lot more. It's like just have the process, whatever this is, follow your a flow of instincts as opposed to what you think you're supposed to do right now. Just go with your intuition and be like, now I feel like doing it, now I don't feel like doing it. And don't let your ego guide you in a way of like, no, I gotta get up and I gotta do this and I gotta no. If you feel that, if you feel that urge, if that energy, is sparked, then go for it, do the thing. But if not, just don't. And that will create more than anything that is forced or pushed. Don't push. You're supposed to not push. There's also someone in your life that wants to make amends with you, wants to make peace with you. There has been a fallout, or but here's the thing: they have the desire to make amends and peace with you, but they have not grown or changed or evolved. So just so you know, they're not different in that way. So if this person, and it's a masculine energy, fiery masculine energy, you do whatever feels right for you, right? But just so you know that. If you take them as they were. Because they still are. Currently, anyway. Okay. That was Aquarius. Thanks, Aquarius. Pisces seekers. A format of communication, a formatting to your communication, to your if you're a writer, you're going to write very differently. If you're a creator, you're going to start thinking differently. If you're a thought leader, you're going to speak differently to your people. There's going to be a lot of there will start developing this innate understanding as to where you belong, like where, for example, you want to live. I don't think the move will happen immediately. It might be a process of a few months, even a few years for some of you, but you will have that recognition. You will have suddenly. So for those of you who don't know where home is, you will develop that where home is and the yearning for it. But like when I say home, I mean like the environment, not necessarily the type of apartment or house, but more like the environment or the culture, the culture you want to be a part of, the culture you want to live in, where you want to raise your children, what kind of mindset, that becomes very, very clear to you. And it's very different than what you thought, or it's very different from the past. And some of you are finalizing writing something that is very close to your heart, that is very different. It's like very, it's something different. And closer to your heart than you planned on when you created it or wrote it, if you are a creator. Message for Pisces from the tarot, please. On the full moon, lunar eclipse in Taurus. Message for Pisces, please. One more. Details. Eight of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles. You are being hypercritical about the details, about every single aspect of this thing. You want it to be perfect. You don't mind waiting forever until it's absolutely perfect. And you're guided to feel like that for a reason, because this will require patience and time. The Hermit also came out. So maybe it's good to keep up this mindset, because it will help you through the waiting game. This is a long game. What is this? Some of you are physically building a place. Some of you are building a hospital, or helping renovate, or you're volunteering in something like that and helping renovate or build or organize, or maybe administration work. Something that will start like that will turn out to be very meaningful in your life and will lead to a big spiritual development for you. Very interesting. Now, Virgo energy is off the charts here for you, across from you. So I don't know how this eclipse necessarily triggers your seventh house, but it's the reality. Okay. Taurus is also very realistic, right? It's a producer, brings things to life. So this eclipse marks like a big reality check, where you have to be guided by the mechanical, by the mathematical, by the factual, and it will reap rewards, but it will take time. And that's your lesson as a Pisces now, that is really coming into play at this time. There's the message. Now it feels right. And Aries, we did full circle. Guys, good job. How are you feeling? You guys have been very quiet. Have you been focused? It's late. I know. It's 1 a.m. I can't believe it. I was so tired. Like at 8 p.m., I was so exhausted. I was like, I'm probably going to fall asleep at like 10. Mia feeling good. That's great. And here I am, like I started alive at like 11 p.m. Oh, you're welcome, Mia. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you to say. Okay. Where were we? Aries. Message for Aries. It's in your neighbor Taurus. It's happening. This eclipse right next to you, close to home, close to your heart. What's going on with this eclipse for Aries? Someone is saying no. What is this? Where is it coming from? No what? Not now. Someone's like, not now. No, not now. Someone is going to trigger you. This energy is going to create a trigger with someone in your life that's just gonna, you know how when you love someone, it trumps all the stuff that you have challenges with, or things that you don't really like about them or whatever, and that you're bothered with. But when you love them, it's like then everything is under that proportion, and it's like it doesn't matter as much. But something about this eclipse is going to shed so much light on the things that you're bothered with, or what triggers you about this person or about this relationship. Like it's going to poke the hell out of you. Like you're going to be like, not now, no. Or like, and I see you like lashing out, not violently. I'm not referring like snapping, or like something that you're usually patient with. Like it's something that they do that normally you show patience for. Now you're like, and you're surprising yourself. No, wait for it. If you're not feeling it now, wait for it. But it's gonna even take you by surprise, and you're suddenly gonna realize that wait, it's actually it's been there for a while. I've been annoyed by this for a while, or I've been bothered by this for a while, and then you haven't been saying this to yourself, or you haven't been acknowledging it. So this reaction from you is going to surprise you, but also show you something that you've been ignoring, right? Mia, wait, Victor, I felt great earlier but hit a wall later in the day. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Mia, really inspiring it was and is to listen to your words. Morgan, thank you. You really helped me through the early morning. Much appreciation to you, and greetings from Switzerland. Switzerland, that's so cool. Hi, Mia from Switzerland. What do you mean by through the early morning? You mean like specifically something happened early this morning, or like, or do you mean something else? Anyway, I'm glad I was helpful. Aries, back to your message. Yeah, so you're gonna become aware of how you yourself feel, something that you wouldn't allow yourself to acknowledge because of a discomfort of some sort. Um, thank you, Sherry. Okay, show me cards for Aries. The Death card in the reverse. Okay. One more message for Aries from this eclipse and Taurus. And the Knight of Wands. Okay. This is a profound change that has been brewing for a very long time, Aries. And you have been slow to move with it, or to even acknowledge it. You might have been either in denial to it, or stubbornly trying to hold back the dam, and it's like not possible. It's like it's pushed the ocean kind of thing, but no, it's stronger than you. And it's like you've been really holding on to something in the face of incredible force, incredible energy, trying to like pour you in to the future, to what's next, whatever it is for you. And as soon as that eclipse hits, and I feel like it's already been triggered by the eclipse in Scorpio, right? But the eclipse in Scorpio has kind of started this process of like, okay, I can't hold this any longer, or I can't deny, or I can't stop, or I can't ignore, however it plays out for you. And then the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus is when the dam is open, and everything is just in movement. So I see from slow and denying to fast, like super fast movement and change and going somewhere. You're going somewhere. Just, I need out. I'm going somewhere. Okay, you're going somewhere. Those are too many cards. Too many cards. Just one more card. Where is Aries going? Where is this Knight of Wands heading to? Aries. You're gonna break shit down. You're like, you've been trying to keep it together for so long, and then once you're like done and can't, once you snap, once you get triggered, it's like everything comes out. Everything you've been holding in, everything you've tried to be I don't know, in control about, or suppressing, or holding back, or acting like it doesn't matter, or acting like it doesn't exist. Everything is just going to pour out, and you won't be able to stop it. And it's going to be dramatic because you've been holding on it in for so long. So it has been bubbling, and now, yeah. So expect drama, but it's something that I don't think it will surprise you. I think it's something that you've been trying to pretend like you can. I don't know. You've been pretending. But as soon as you're forced to stop pretending, you're going to be free. And it's going to be a dramatic type of freedom. But hey, to build new, you got to destroy the old. Just for those of you who need to hear it, don't go violent. Just go to the gym, go for a run. Don't use it to escape. Then move on to do whatever you need to do. But keep in mind, there's a lot of feelings are closed and bubbled up within you, be it suppressed anger, suppressed emotion, whatever it is. So I recommend you lead it as opposed to it leading and controlling you and taking over you. Okay, let's do a final message for Ophiuchus/all shifters to close up the day. If you want to deepen your esoteric knowledge and studies, Tarot Masterclass Bunkais for unlimited streaming over on Patreon. Regardless, check out Patreon. It's a monthly membership that you can cancel anytime. Tons of VIP content. We go deeper there. A lot of intense studies, Karmic Shift and Liberation, Tarot Masterclass. There are daily rune messages that I post there. There are all kinds of tiers, so you can choose a tier that works for you. Check it out. Show support. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. And thank you for being here. Okay. Final message for all 4 of Cups. One more card. And the Moon. I mean, all the insecurities are going to come out and play. You're going to rediscover yourself. Things that you thought you overcame, things you thought you've handled, things you thought you healed, that you actually only shoved deeper and deeper. Some of you went into denial and utilized toxic positivity. Some of you misconstrued ancient teachings of the esoterica and blabbered it into a fast food, plasticky, new age way of spirituality. You live, you smile, you live, you cry. It's okay. The ebbs and the flows and the lows. What? You get my picture. Let your insecurities come up so you can wash them away. But you can't wash them away if they're inside. Stay magic, stay true. I love you. Bye.